Not all gravel bikes are what the brochures claim. In a world where flashy specs blur reality, only a handful deliver true speed, comfort, and value. From $1,200 all the way to cutting-edge wireless shifting and race-grade frames. But before revealing which 2026 models genuinely earn their place, there is a test that every claim must survive. What we found could change what you believe about the best bike for your ride. A 20-kilometer mixed terrain loop set the standard for every bike tested. This route included sharp gravel climbs, rough descents, and stretches of hard-packed dirt, broken up by sections of smooth tarmac. Each sector presented a different challenge. Steep gradients pushed drivetrain range, loose corners tested tire grip, and fast flats measured aero efficiency. Before any ride, every bike rolled onto a calibrated shop scale. Frame, wheels, and accessories were weighed separately, with rider weights recorded between 70 and 90 kilograms. Tire widths were checked using digital calipers to verify clearance claims, and air pressures were set precisely with digital gauges, typically 28 to 32 pounds per square inch for 40mm gravel tires. GPS timers tracked sector times to within a second, while barometric altimeters logged elevation gain and loss. For consistency, all bikes ran the same tire model, set up tubeless with fresh sealant. Drivetrain shifts were checked under load, and brake pads were measured to ensure even wear. Every detail, from rack mounts to axle standards, was documented using a standardized checklist. This approach left no room for guesswork or manufacturer exaggeration. The result was hard data, ready to reveal which bikes actually deliver on their promises when the numbers are tallied. All bikes featured in this review were provided as short-term test loans with no payment or editorial input from any manufacturer. Each model arrived at a neutral, independent shop, where serial numbers and delivery dates were logged for full traceability. Before a single ride, the condition of every part was verified by a certified mechanic. With no swapped components and no hidden upgrades, shop technicians performed the initial setup, confirming torque specs and firmware versions for electronic drivetrains. A time-stamped checklist documented the process, from frame inspection to final tire inflation. To further reduce bias, an outside expert reviewed the test protocols and data collection methods. This step ensured the numbers behind each bike's performance, including weight, sector times, and tire clearance, stood up to scrutiny. The expert's findings matched the team's own, confirming the accuracy of the results. Loan units were returned after testing, with no gifts retained. All findings are based on independent measurements and real-world rides, not marketing claims. This level of transparency allows for a fair comparison, so each bike's strengths and weaknesses can be discussed without compromise. With the groundwork in place, attention now turns to the bikes themselves and how they performed on the test loop. Cervélo's Aspero 5-Force E-Tap AXS lands at the sharp end of the spectrum, built for riders chasing every second. At just under 7.8 kilograms, the carbon frame and aggressive geometry reward hard efforts with quick acceleration out of corners and confident handling at speed. Wireless SRAM Force E-Tap shifting means no cables to stretch or snag, just crisp, precise changes with every click. Racers praise the system for cutting pre-ride setup in half, though it pays to pack a spare battery for long events. The Aspero tire clearance maxes out at 45mm, enough for most gravel races, while hidden mounts allow discrete fenders or a minimalist rack for light gear. Cannondale's Topstone Carbon 3 GRX2 takes a different approach, blending race-ready carbon with comfort for epic days out. Shimano's GRX2 by Drivetrain offers a wide gear range, letting riders spin up steep climbs without running out of gears on fast descents. Mechanics highlight the GRX's reliability, cable-actuated shifting that keeps working deep into remote territory, with spare parts available at nearly any shop. The Topstone's 45mm tire clearance and integrated rack mounts open the door for loaded adventures, while the frame's subtle flex smooths rough patches without robbing power. Focus Atlas 8.0 steps up with a robust build for spirited gravel riding, pairing a stiff chassis with components tough enough for repeated abuse. It leans toward the racier side but does not shy away from rougher tracks, thanks to generous tire clearance and a drivetrain tuned for variable terrain. Riders looking for a reliable partner in local races or hard training days find the Atlas up to the task. Bergamont's Grandurance Elite rounds out the quartet, prioritizing versatility for long tours and mixed surfaces. The carbon frame carries full rack and fender mounts with clearance for tires up to 50mm. That means room for bigger loads and more comfort, whether crossing continents or just escaping for the weekend. The Grandurance's mid-high spec keeps it responsive, while its design welcomes bags, bottles, and everything needed for the long haul. Cube's NeuroAdd 1 FE offers a low-cost entry to gravel built on an aluminum frame that shrugs off knocks and keeps maintenance simple. Its entry-level drivetrain handles shifting duties reliably, but the stock wheels weigh it down, especially on climbs. As one local wheel builder says, swapping to tubeless tires and lighter rims is the first move, dropping about 400 grams and waking up the ride. That single upgrade brings sharper acceleration and more grip, making the NeuroAdd 1 feel more responsive both uphill and down. The NeuroAdd Pro FE steps things up with a GRX drivetrain that shifts smoothly under pressure and lighter wheels that make longer rides easier. Both Cube models offer tire clearance up to 50 millimeters, so they are ready for muddy trails or loaded touring. Rack and fender mounts come standard, making either a practical choice for commuting or light bikepacking. Trek's Checkpoint ALR4 Gen 3 stands out for its tough aluminum frame and geometry that balances stability with quick handling. Shimano's reliable shifting and clearance for 45mm tires make it a solid pick for mixed surface adventures. The ISO-Speed seat post adds comfort, smoothing rough roads without extra complexity. KTM's Gravelator Pro 2 rounds out the group, offering dependable gearing with its 2x setup and balanced geometry for varied terrain. The aluminum frame keeps costs down, while clearance for 47mm tires gives it confidence on rough ground. All four bikes focus on practicality and upgrade potential. For riders watching their budget, investing in better wheels or tubeless tires delivers the best value, improving speed and comfort without overspending. Aluminum frames may add a bit of weight, but they bring proven durability and a strong foundation for future upgrades. Speed on gravel isn't just about frame weight or aerodynamics. It's also shaped by drivetrain choice and gearing range. In direct head-to-heads on hard-packed sectors, race-focused bikes like the Cervélo Aspero 5 consistently posted times 5 to 10% faster than all-rounders or value models. That advantage comes from a stiff chassis and aggressive geometry, but also from how the power gets to the ground. Drivetrain setup plays a defining role. The debate between 1x and 2x gearing is more than just tradition versus innovation. A 1x system, like SRAM's Force ETAP AXS, strips away the front derailleur for simplicity, fewer parts, less to go wrong mid-race, and faster shifts under pressure. But that comes at the cost of gear range, especially on steep climbs or long descents where cadence matters. On the other side, 2x drivetrains such as Shimano's GRX offer a broader spread of gears, letting riders spin comfortably up sharp gradients and still hammer on the flats. Mechanics lay it out as a matrix, 1x for race simplicity, 2x for range. The right choice depends on whether you're chasing seconds or seeking versatility across unpredictable terrain. Ownership costs for gravel bikes span a wide range, but a realistic budget for maintenance and wear sits between $800 and $2,000 for every 10,000 kilometers of riding. That figure covers routine service like chain and cassette replacements, brake pads, and the occasional tire swap, plus the parts that wear faster on rough ground. Carbon race bikes and high-end drivetrains tend to push costs to the upper end, while aluminum frames and mechanical shifting keep things more manageable. Experienced wheel builders agree, the smartest first upgrade is always the wheels. Swapping heavy stock rims for lighter, wider tubeless-ready sets transforms both ride feel and long-term value, often shaving 400 grams and boosting comfort and grip. Tires are another critical factor. For most riders, a 38 to 45mm tubeless tire, set between 25 and 35 pounds per square inch, strikes the best balance between speed, traction, and puncture resistance. Stick to this pressure range. Too high and the ride turns harsh. Too low and you risk pinch flats. The right wheels and tire setup can make even a budget bike perform well above its price tag. Right now, gravel bikes are evolving faster than ever, blending wireless tech, race-ready frames, and real-world durability. For every rider, the right choice shapes both adventure and access. The real test isn't specs, it's the ride itself. What bike would you trust for your next journey? Share your pick below.